Hello everybody and welcome back to Collection Log Progress, the series where we try to fill in as many log slots as possible. I've returned from my brief hiatus of house sitting for a friend, and now I'm back in order to fill in more collection log slots, do clues, PVM, minigames and more. I hope you enjoy. One thing I was able to do before I had left was play a few more games of Guardians of the Rift in order to pull a few more rewards. Unfortunately, I was unable to get any of the uniques, but I did get enough pearls in order to get the Boots of the Eye, the first of the 4-part rune crafting set that allows you to craft more runes per individual essence. This is going to be great for the minigame as it'll allow me to get more points and more runes as we go, and overall is going to be a nice set to obtain. During the minigame, I was also able to obtain level 89 rune crafting, which puts us one level closer to being able to craft soul runes at Zaya, which is really cool. By the time I got back, we were around 2/3 of the way through the feeding skill of the week, and whilst I was late and unable to definitely come in first, I wanted to go back to Pyramid Plunder, as once I'd reached level 91 and done the diary achievement here, I didn't go back. What motivated me the most was that one of our members during the skill of the week, Miss Steeltown, received multiple Ferroceptors, and as you can see here, I think her love rubbed off on me, as we were able to obtain this one and add it to our collection log. Not long after, on a farm run, I managed to get a Quizmaster random, which allowed us to pick up a mystery box. Each mystery box is a chance of getting the stale baguette for the collection log. Sadly this time, I just got nature runes. During the week of this recording, we had the boss of the week be that of the Chambers of Xeric, and I got brought along to a few of them. And whilst generally I didn't get anything special in my name, I did get a few drops worth around 250k each. The most exciting thing though had to be this one, where we got a 5-man team new best time for me, and Dr. Rave got a dupe Dex. I would feel bad for him getting a dupe on an iron, but he also has dupe T-bows on the iron, so it's hard to pity the guy. In between Chambers of Xeric and minigames, I was doing some Slayer in order to pick up brimstone keys and clues for a video in the future. During this one, I managed to pick up a Grotesque Guardians task, which I thought I'd go back to as I'm missing 3 of the drops and a few of them I'm drive for, that being the core mostly, but I've also got the jar and the pet in there. Going back to this boss though reminded me how much I don't enjoy doing it, as around 10 kills in I get another pair of granite gloves, and decide to quit the boss and go kill the regular ones for now. I'm sure I'll be back though. Now during one of these Slayer tasks I got a superior jelly, which reminded me a lot of the gelatinous cube from D&D, all the way down to the skeleton inside. Now I'm not saying it's a copy, but definitely someone was inspired. As for gathering elite clues this week, it was definitely a rocky ride, so to speak. On one hand, I got one from an abyssal demon, which is quite rare. On the other hand, I did around 54 Cath and nearly 70 Venenatis, plus a couple of Scotizo pillars I'd managed to build up doing other Slayer tasks, and didn't manage to get any more elite clues. Those are currently the hardest thing to gather and are what are gating me from a video I want to make in the future. On a side note though, I have managed to start stacking up mediums and currently I'm sitting at a hefty 50 in the bank, which is only about halfway to the goal of what I need for that tier. After wrapping up Slayer for the week, I decided to come open my 24 brimstone keys. Immediately I get one of the most expensive drops you can get, a multiple stack of the dragon fruit tree seeds, which was a nice way to set it off, but also left me wanting to hit that buzz again. Sadly, as we go through, we get a lot of the regular drops, but it doesn't seem as though we get too much special. While I'm here, I just wanted to talk about Konar. I see a lot of debate about what Slayer Master is best for what and everything else, but doing Konar for a while now, I'm finding her to be honestly the most enjoyable. Admittedly, not being able to go to where you want to kill bosses, not being able to use cannons in certain tasks, and other aspects like that can be frustrating to begin with, but once you get used to the style, I honestly believe her to be one of the best Slayer Masters out there. You're getting 20 points per task once you have the Elite Diary done, and plus you're getting a lot of excess money with the Brimstone Keys. Even looking here at what we've just got from this pull, we're looking at a little over 3 mil, and if that's not good excess money, then I don't know what is, as some bosses won't pay out that well. Now the most recent addition to the game is the minigame Giants Foundry, a new smithing minigame which offers a new skilling outfit, although this one works rather differently to the rest, alongside a new ammo mold which allows you to make double the amount of cannonballs in the time which you previously used to make 4. I wanted to do this as next week we have a skill of the week for smithing, and I wanted to obtain all the molds before we did, so that next week I can come through and collect all the other log slots in here. So, here we go. As you can see here, we're starting off with 2 swords handed in, This was just to practice doing commissions after finishing the mini quest and making sure I understood what to do. Immediately you can tell that I don't fully understand what to do, as I don't immediately put the coins back away in order to fill in the 28 ingots you need. Ingots, I mean bars, we're not playing Minecraft, in the smeltery in order to fill up the mould. I'm also putting them in one by one when you can just left click on it and it'll allow you to put in, as you can see just here. There are some small bits and pieces throughout this minigame that you get fine-tuned with, but overall this minigame is really quick and clean and just works really well. Honestly, like, the interface at first is daunting, but with the plugin that allows you to see which is the best option for the blade you're making, it makes the minigame go by pretty quickly overall. And I'd say it was a good implementation by Jagex. Good job. I initially didn't understand what certain parts of the minigame were. Like here you can see a yellow box spawning around the top and a blue outline spawning around the tool. I later realised that this is something you can do to speed up the process of manufacturing the weapon. If during the time you see you're interacting with the tool you see that box, click on the tool again and you'll have a potential to get a massive speed up and jump along the progress bar at the bottom. This will allow you to skip segments and ultimately make tools faster and gain more XP and more points per hour. It's a nice little bonus to the minigame that allows you to actually require some skill rather than mindlessly clicking it. Here we come over, handing that sword, and we should just have enough points now for our first mould, I believe. I run back and forth, so I misclick, but you can see I'm sitting at 400, and I'm looking at things to buy and what's available. I don't think I get it on the clip here, but I do buy the first mould here. I want to work through the moulds first, as they're the thing that allows you to gather the more points per game. So, let's go with that. During a minigame, I pick up a lamp from a genie and place it into agility. Agility is one of those skills where I find it hard to grind out consistently, but it needs to be done, so lamps help. Following which, I realise I've got enough points to pick up one of the moulds, and so I just unlock one. I'm not really too fussed by which one I pick up. Sometimes I'll look at what my next commission is in order to get a better one, but generally I'm just getting them as quickly as I can to get through them all. About 5 games in, I managed to make my first perfected sword. That is to say that in the process of doing the minigame, I never made any mistakes in making it, and so could gain the maximum amount of points from it. After which I managed to perfect most of them from here on out, as once you've got it down, it's pretty hard to fail unless you're not paying attention. And here we start collecting the moulds. Each mould costs anywhere between 300 and 450 points, with varying prices being dependent on what it offers you. I found each game took about 5 to 6 minutes each, and it took about 2 games for around 300 points, give or take, as each game gave about 170 to 190 depending on the blade. This means that overall it took me around 2.5 to 3 hours to finish. Along the road, as you just saw there, we managed to pick up 91 smithing, which initially I wasn't expecting until I looked at the XP rates and saw that I was getting around 247,000 XP per hour. Something I realised a little ways into it is how the moulds affect it. As you can see when I'm scrolling down here, each mould has a different number assigned to different variables of the blade. When you get a commission, you're meant to make a blade with 2 of these parts, and so finding the right mix of moulds is the best way to get the highest points. I think this is why you buy the moulds first. The more expensive moulds, the 450 ones, are ones that specialise in one area, so if you use 2 of those on a blade, you get a lot of specialist points and then 1 excess. One thing I found funny over time was some of the names of them, and I won't try and butcher them here, but safe to say I thought of saying them in an Australian accent, the way that all the words ended in A. So that was something I considered and thought about as we went through. As you can see here though, we've now finished all the regular moulds, just that cannonball mould left, and we'll be doing this next week to fill in those slots. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today, as I wasn't able to gather as many clips this week as time and RNG weren't on my side. So let me ask you, would you rather videos stay like this, brief and quick once each week, or would you rather a longer video over a longer time? Either way, I'm very grateful to you all, and the channel's been popping off really well. Thank you all for watching, have a wonderful day. Bye.